When energy reawakens, you will recover the memories of your accumulated past lives. At that moment, the person you are will be worlds apart from who you are now. This video explores how humanity utilizes the uneven distribution of energy on Earth to serve its own ends, including how to select burial sites to elevate human energy and the hidden secrets of astrology. Energy is the source of everything. All things rely on the supply of energy to exist and function. The natural world has always been permeated by energy meridians and a cosmic energy grid that fills the universe, transmitting energy supplies to the entire planet through these channels. As mentioned in a previous video dedicated to this topic, these are Stargates. The world possesses several master energy input ports. These ports serve many functions. They can act as stargates for teleportation, but they also serve as projection sources for the planet's energy input. They possess the ability to directly alter the world. This is why the ancients placed such immense importance on the concepts of heaven and God. Imagine if a tribal chieftain occupied the energy input port of his tribe. Since energy is the source of everything, the chieftain would only need to formulate a thought or intention to guide the local energy. Every living being and every existence within the tribe would be influenced by this, or even controlled by his mind. Simultaneously, because the chieftain occupies the energy input, he receives a massive influx of energy, causing his own dimension, density, to ascend, becoming a god. In a certain sense, the so-called false gods, anyone can become one if they occupy an energy input port. The Creator can remodel the world through sheer will because it masters the projection source of the energy input for this region. By guiding and altering the energy at that source, it naturally affects every being in the area where that energy is projected. So, if this energy input port controls an entire country, or even the entry point for the entire world, when we speak of freedom, do we really have as much freedom as we think? Part 1. Energy and Astrology. All things are born of energy. Everything is a top-down energy projection. If a person cultivates energy, they can link with the cosmic energy. Once you enter the Akashic records, you will know everything. The universe has no secrets. This is why spiritual practice is so vital. Since ancient times, different tribes and religious sects have passed down certain spells and techniques. To some extent, these may simply be secret codes used to communicate with predecessors residing above the projection source. You send information up, and the predecessors at the projection source release a bit of energy, or directly alter the projection source of this world from above, causing it to manifest directly in our reality. The lower dimensional world is merely a projection field of the higher dimensions. Changing lower dimensional reality from the high dimensional projection source is easy, but trying to change it while trapped in the lower dimension is incredibly difficult. Throughout history, people have fought for power, profit, and empires. However, the true players of the Earth metaverse have always been fighting for these projection source entrances. In ancient Chinese culture, astronomy directly determined geography. The projection sources in the heavens correspond directly to the energy meridians underground. Therefore, throughout the dynasties, people observed celestial phenomena. When the celestial projection energy filled up, the Earth would undergo corresponding massive changes. Every time there was a great shift in the world, there was always a preemptive shift in the heavens, followed by a change in the earthly energy field, finally imaging into reality. Ancient Indian astrology shares this same profound logic. Part 2. Energy and Burial. Feng Shui. In ancient China, people often buried their ancestors within dragon veins, ley lines, and the energy grid. They believed this would help their ancestors continue to grow their energy and ascend in dimension even after passing away. For the ancient Chinese, Being buried in an ancestral tomb was a matter of utmost importance, because not everyone had the opportunity to be buried there. When a family first chose to settle their burial grounds in a dragon vein, those ancestors who ascended in dimension through the energy stargates would then reside at the projection source above, offering protection and blessings to their descendants below. This is why, even in modern China, you see that the wealthiest people are always the most diligent about ancestor worship. If anything goes slightly wrong with their feng shui, they are more anxious than anyone else. This is something ordinary people have never understood, but it has always been a secret kept strictly among the upper-level players of Earth. If you have no one above protecting you, you are like an NPC, non-player character. Others can change you whenever they want, and you just get angry foolishly without finding the cause. The root of all this lies in a lack of cognition regarding the world's rules. Only by truly understanding the rules of the game can you cross the watershed that divides an NPC from a player. In this game arena, the importance of Earth's energy grid meridians is self-evident. The acupoints in dragon veins where energy gathers are actually stargates. Stargates are not only channels for teleportation and dimensional ascension, they can also house ancestors, allowing them to be nourished and washed by energy, helping them rise to higher dimensions through the Stargate. Because human consciousness exists across multiple dimensions, consciousness in other dimensions also receives this energy nourishment, making ascension easier. Utilizing the energy grid aids in spiritual cultivation. Ancient Chinese people usually went to the vicinity of spiritual veins to cultivate. Modern people, however, spend great costs to concentrate populations in cities. For the sake of infrastructure, parts of the dragon veins have been severed. It looks like economic development. But is this not another form of captivity? The key locations of certain major powers are tacitly built upon dragon veins. They never speak of this. Instead, they aggressively suppress it and label it as superstition for the public. Because true benefits are never shared with ordinary people, they will always be made into a cognitive restricted zone. For you, knowing this is the dividing line between an NPC and a player. Conclusion. However, energy will sooner or later fully reawaken. When that time comes, we won't need to be trapped in tiny plots of land, fighting to the death. Eventually, all of this will be made public. Once energy resurges and humans are filled with sufficient energy, we will be able to explore and access the cosmic web and understand everything within the universe. Because energy created everything, everything is within it, and the library of all information is contained within it. Previously, due to environmental reasons, we were all trapped here. But as time moves forward, when you understand everything and recover the memories of your past lives, the you at that moment will be vastly different from the you of today.